Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Yunus Khan and I'm here with a new topic of biology from class second year. In the previous topic, we discussed about the different parts of the respiratory system of human beings. That is, upper respiratory tract and lower respiratory tract have been discussed in that. The nasal cavities, nostrils, pharynx, then larynx, trachea, all these bronchi, bronchioles and alveoli, all these things have been discussed over there. Now, today we will talk about the lungs. So, lungs is a very important structure that plays a very important role in the breathing of air in and out of the body. So, it may be defined as the special elastic and spongy organ concerned mainly with the respiration or breathing. So that organ which is spongy and elastic and which helps in the breathing of air in and out of the body, that is called as the lungs. So about the location of the lungs, so the lungs are located in the thoracic cavity. It is located in the chest cavity, abdominal cavity, chest cavity, coelom has been further divided, coelom or body cavity, that has been further divided into different parts. So that part of the coelom or the body cavity where the lungs are present, that is called as chest cavity or the thoracic cavity. So the lungs are located in the thoracic cavity. These are the lungs, and they are found in between the ribs. For example, these are the ribs which have been cut on both the sides. 12 pairs of the ribs are there, means 24 number of the ribs are there in our body. So these are, for example, the ribs, and in between the ribs there are special muscles which are shaded with the green color. So these green colored muscles which are shown over here, these are called as the intercostal muscles. These are the ribs, and in between the ribs are the intercostal muscles. Below them is a dome-shaped structure which is made of skeletal muscles. It is a skeletal sheet which is called as diaphragm. So the ribs, intercostal muscles and diaphragm play a very important role in the contraction and the relaxation of the lungs during the process of breathing. When we inhale air inside the body and then exhale the carbon dioxide outside the body, so at that time the intercostal muscles and diaphragm perform a very important role. Okay, furthermore, the coverings of the lungs have to be discussed, but before that, the lobes of the lungs. This is, for example, our right side and this is left side. So this is the right lung and this is the left lung. The right lung is divided into three lobes, this one and this one, while the left lung is divided into two lobes because of an oblique fissure. There is an oblique fissure that separates these two lobes from each other. So here in case of left lung, only a single oblique fissure is there, so therefore two lobes are there. One is called as superior lobe, the other one is inferior lobe. Similarly, in case of the right lung, along with the oblique fissure, there is another fissure which is also called as horizontal fissure. So because of presence of two kinds of fissure here, there are three lobes over here. One is superior lobe, inferior lobe like that of the left lung, and in between them is the middle lobe. So three lobes are here, superior, middle and inferior lobes. Further, each and every lobe is further composed of small segments. If we observe the lungs, so they are composed of small compartments, small segments. So both of the lungs are composed of 10 segments. When we talk about the right lung, in this case the superior lobe is composed of 3 segments, the middle one is of 2 segments, and inferior one is composed of 5 segments. So 10 segments are there here in this case. While in case of the left lung, superior lobe contains 5 segments and inferior lobe contains 5 segments. So both of them contains 5 segments each. Therefore, this lung is also composed of 10 segments. So this is about the lobes and segments of the lungs. Further, we must talk about the coverings of the lungs. So the covering, the lung is covered by a double membrane. A double membrane is there. These two membranes, the outer membrane is called parietal pleuron and inner one is called as visceral pleuron. So both of them are collectively called as pleura. This means each lung is covered or surrounded by a double membrane structure which is called as pleura. This pleura is plural and its singular is pleuron. So the outer covering, the outer membrane is called parietal, the inner one is called visceral pleuron. In between these two pleura, there is a special cavity which is called as pleural cavity. The pleural cavity is there in between these two pleura. And this pleural cavity contains a special kind of fluid which is called as pleural fluid. A fluid is called as pleural fluid that is there in between these two pleura. So the function of this pleural fluid is to reduce the friction during the contraction and relaxation phenomena of the lungs. When the lungs perform a physical process, that is contraction and relaxation, by the force of intercostal muscles and diaphragm, that will be discussed in the mechanism, inshallah, in the next video. The intercostal muscles and diaphragm play a very important role in the contraction and relaxation of the spongy lungs. So these spongy lungs perform contraction and relaxation during breathing. So during breathing, the friction is reduced by this pleural fluid. That is reduced by this pleural fluid. Okay, so this is about the two kind of pleura, two membranes that surround the lungs, inside which the segments are there, and the spongy nature is because of millions of alveoli inside it, which have been discussed in the previous lecture. Okay, now here there are some surfaces of the lungs are the outer parietal pleuron. So before that we have to talk about the wall of the chest and inside it. So here this is the chest wall, which is called as costal wall. This is costal wall, which is above or on the side of the lung. Here is a diaphragm which is below the lung, and on the inner side of the lung there is a cavity which is called as mediastinum. Mediastinum is a space in between the two lungs that provide an area for the trachea, bronchi, heart and esophagus, etc. So this is a space where these things are available, and this space in between the two lungs is called mediastinum. So depending upon whether the surface is towards the costal side or the diaphragm or it is towards the mediastinum, there are three sides of the lung, each lung. So that side of the parietal pleuron, the outer cover, or that side of the lung which is towards the costal side, costal wall, that is called as the costal side. That is called as the costal side. The side that is towards the costal wall, that is towards the costal wall, is called as costal side, which has been written over here, costal side. Similarly, that side of the lung which is below and which is just in front of the, just above the diaphragm, that is called as the diaphragmatic side or diaphragmatic surface. The third surface is the inner surface, which is just towards the mediastinum. This surface is called as the mediastinal surface. This is called as the mediastinal side. So there are three sides: the costal side, similarly the diaphragmatic side, and the mediastinal side. These are the three sides of the lungs, and inside the lungs millions of alveoli are there, because of which they are spongy in nature. This is the bronchial tree. We have discussed it in the previous classes as well. This is the bronchial tree, the trachea along with two branches, that is bronchi. The bronchi enters into the lungs, divide and redivide, forming secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, and so on. Lastly, when it attains the diameter of 1 millimeter or less than that, so at that time they are called as bronchioles, then alveolar ducts, and at the ends of alveolar ducts there are bunches of alveoli, just like the bunches of grapes. So these alveoli covers the whole internal part of the lungs. Lungs is filled up with the alveoli. So because of presence of millions of alveoli, the lungs are spongy in nature. So this is about the whole structure and position of the lungs and its definition as well. The rest of about the process which is performed by the lungs, that is breathing, mechanism of the breathing, how the breathing takes place. So in mechanism of breathing, intercostal muscles and the dome-shaped dome-shaped diaphragm is of prominent peculiar property. They perform a very important function over here, important role in the mechanism of the breathing, and that will be discussed in the next video, inshallah. So if you have any kind of question in this topic, you can ask me in comments. Till next video, thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.